the Business Viewpoint Magazine. Today, we are honored to feature an inspiring entrepreneur whose commitment to sustainability, ethical business practices, and rural empowerment is creating meaningful impact while preserving India's rich cultural and agricultural heritage. As businesses around the world embrace responsible growth, sustainable innovation has become more than a business strategy. It has become a way to create lasting value for communities, customers, and future generations. Through a strong focus on authentic spices, handicraft products, fair trade practices, and community development, our guest has built a brand that demonstrates how purpose and profitability can grow together. Please join me in welcoming one of the most influential leaders in sustainable business innovation 2026, Sreekumar Maranghat-Sambhu, the founder and CEO of Wayanad Craft Spices and Handicrafts. Sri Kumar, thank you so much for joining us, and it's a pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you. In fact, it's a pleasure for me to be part of this session. Yes, we can proceed further. Yep.
Yeah, if the honor is all ours, sir. So, to begin with, could you share with us your entrepreneur journey and what inspired you to establish Wayanad Craft Spices and Handicrafts with a vision centered on sustainability and community empowerment?
Okay. So for more than 2 decades, I worked in the IT industry with multinational companies like Capgemini, HCL, and all. While the career was rewarding, I always felt a strong connection to my roots in Wayanad, where I was born into a farming family. Right? So in 2023, I decided to return to my hometown and build something meaningful for the society. So Wayanad Craft was born with a simple vision to bring authentic organic spices directly from our farms to consumers while creating sustainable livelihoods for local communities. So for me, entrepreneurship is not just about building a business. It is about creating lasting value for people, agriculture, and the environment. Yeah.
That's wonderful, sir. So, as you mentioned, Wayanad is known for its rich agricultural heritage and traditional craftsmanship. So, how has the region influenced your business philosophy and the products the company offers?
Wayanad is more than a place. In fact, it's an ecosystem shaped by fertile soil, rich biodiversity, and generations of farming knowledge. Right. So, growing up here taught me to respect nature rather than exploiting it. Uh, that philosophy is reflected in everything we do, right? In terms of farming, in terms of processing that, then finally to reach it to the consumers. In fact, like organic cultivation, then direct farm sourcing to environmentally responsible packaging and even the community driven employment, right, that we offer to our employees, right? So in fact, Wayanad has given us both our products as well as uh, our purpose for this business. Yeah.
That's excellent. So, sustainability is becoming a key priority for businesses worldwide today. So, what does sustainable business innovation mean to you? And also, how is it reflected in your company's everyday operations? Because we see that, sustainability is more than a buzzword now, and you're very much integrating it in your offerings. So, how are you, being able to do that?
To me, or rather, uh, for our organization, the sustainability is not just a separate initiative, right? It is how a business should operate every day. So that's the principle we follow, right? Innovation is, in fact, meaningful only when it creates value for all the stakeholders, right? At Wayanad that means adopting technologies like AI and digital traceability while remaining committed to organic farming, ethical sourcing, women empowerment, and environmental responsibility. So, I mean, this uh, innovation is something become will meaningful only when it creates value for the all the stakeholders, including the business, the employees within the organization, and the all stakeholders who are involved in the end-to-end value chain. So, sustainable innovation is about improving the future without compromising our values. Is what our principle is. Yeah.
That's excellent, sir. So, building a business that supports farmers, artisans, and local communities come across with a lot of unique opportunity, but also challenges. So, what has been some of the biggest lessons that you've learned along the way, building your business?
So one important lesson is that what we learned is trust is built over time, not through transactions, right? It takes years to build trust, but just a moment or it will take to lose the trust of people, right? When farmers and communities know that you genuinely care about quality, fairness, and long-term relationships, they become partners rather than just suppliers. I also learned that patience is extremely essential in business, right? Sustainable business do not grow overnight, but they create a deeper and more lasting impact. It takes time. So these are the key learnings. One is the trust. You cannot build trust overnight. Similarly, you need patience. Is something is the great learnings from the business per se. Yeah.
That's very well explained. So, consumers today are increasingly looking for authentic, ethical sourced, and high quality products. So, how does Wynard Craft maintain trust while ensuring consistent quality across its product range?
So we believe trust begins with the transparency. See, almost 60 percentage of the uh, products what we sell are directly from our own farms, right? The rest are actually sourced from certified growers from respective regions. So we follow strict quality standards, right? In fact, all our farms are NPOP and PGs India certified. These are some of the certifications uh, maintained in the organic world, right? So NPOP is one such and certification. PGs India is another certification, right? So not only our farms, in fact, where we source, right? Those farmers also we ensure that they are certified growers, right? And we maintain complete traceability wherever it's possible. Right? So we also educate our customers, for example, explaining why density matters more than the size and color of green cardamom, right? How is similarly why true Ceylon cinnamon is different from cassia. So we offer pure Ceylon cinnamon, true Ceylon cinnamon, organic cinnamon, which is imported from Sri Lanka, and in fact 90%, more than 90% of cinnamon available in India is not the true cinnamon. It is something cassia. So we educate our customers why this true Ceylon cinnamon matters against cassia. Cassia is in fact cassia is one such thing which is consumed instead of true cinnamon. Cassia is used in Indian cooking, but unfortunately, this cassia is uh, has some has a harmful content in it called coumarin. The percentage of coumarin content in cassia is extremely higher than that of true cinnamon, and the coumarin is in fact harmful for human liver and kidney growth. Right? So this is something we keep on educating our customers through social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all. Right? So an informed customer becomes a confident customer is what we think and what we trust. So that way we consistently ensure that we sell only quality product to our consumers.
That's
Yeah,
beautifully explained. And like you mentioned about the example of cassia and cinnamon, I think true cinnamon is very expensive, but cassia is readily available, and it's not that it's inexpensive. So that's the reason, people usually get
yeah, correct.
confused, right?
One,
Yeah.
one, one is the reason. Price is one factor. Another
Right.
factor to it, no, the cassia cinnamon. In fact, cassia is very pungent, and
Right.
aroma wise it is much stronger than that of true cinnamon. Then the color is dark brown in color, and flavor is pungent spicy flavor. So what people think is that no, the cassia is the real cinnamon instead
Right.
of true cinnamon, because it is very pungent, very aromatic, and very dark colorful and all, right. So they feel that okay, that is the real cinnamon. So price is one factor. One factor. The another factor is the misunderstanding. In fact, for years we follow that. Okay, this is what is the cinnamon is, right? But now people have changed a lot, and they know why they why why they should use true cinnamon instead of cassia. And because the otherwise, what will happen instead of goodness, the bad effect will happen if you consume cassia on a regular basis, right? So uh, yeah, you're right that in fact, 3 to 4 times the price is higher for true cinnamon compared to cassia.
Yeah, I
So
think I also recently learned about this, and the reason I came to know is because cassia has a lot of barks, but in
correct,
cinnamon there is only one, like one bark you can find, but in cassia there are different layers. So because of
correct.
that,
In true
I was,
cinnamon, it is multiple layers. Correct. True
yeah, so
cinnamon actually forms as it is rolled in like a cigar, or
yeah,
it's like a
exactly.
big, right. So multiple layers of thin paper-like bark, whereas
Hmm.
cassia is very thick bark,
Yes,
and it's
very.
not easily breakable. Whereas the other one is you can just break it; it's brittle and easy to even powder it. So this thing is paper thin and rolled
Yeah, that's
into
the difference. Yeah.
rolls. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great answer, sir. So, as a
Yeah.
founder, how do you balance business growth with environmental responsibility and long-term well-being? For all of the communities that you work with.
Yes. So for me, or for us rather, growth and sustainability are not competing priorities. They in fact strengthen each other, right? So we don't measure success only by revenue. We also look at soil health, responsible sourcing, then women's employment, the customer trust, and the long-term resilience of our farming ecosystem. So if growth comes at the cost of nature or communities, it is not sustainable growth in our view, right? So why we stretched upon that point, women employment and the local community empowerment, because more than 90% of our employees are women. In fact, me and one more person is the only two male employees in our organization. And out of these, even there are indigenous tribal communities in Wayanad. They are our employees. There are well-educated people within that community, which most of the people around are not aware of, right? So we have sourced them, or rather uh, included as part of our community or the initiative, and trying to empower them with the employment opportunities here, right? So that's how it is. So we should not grow a business, or rather measure business growth at the cost of nature or communities. Is my point is that is not a sustainable growth, right? Yeah.
That's amazing, and very, very, I'm very, very happy to know that a majority of your employees are women. So that's
Yeah.
amazing, sir.
Yeah.
So innovation often involves preserving traditions while adapting to changing market demands and needs. So how do you combine traditional knowledge with modern business practices to, remain competitive in this space?
Yeah, so we our farming methods are rooted in traditional organic practices, aligning with BPKP. BPKP, I mean Bharatiya Prakriti Krishi Paddhati, which is nothing but initiative by Government of India, promoting the traditional farming methods, traditional knowledge, etc. Right. So we are completely aligned with the BPKP standards and its guidelines, while our business operations are or rather our business operation embrace modern technology, right? So we use digital platforms, then AI powered customer support, data analytics, and automation to improve efficiency, right? In fact, we have recently formed something called an innovation hub, right? So though our business priority is selling spices and handicrafts, we also do research on things like how AI can improve the agri business, right? Agri world of it, right? For example, how effectively we can utilize the AI and the modern technology for uh, farming, then processing it, and to ensure that the consumers are always getting uh, quality products, not many now the grading and even the processing is though there are mechanical devices are available. For example, in the case of cardamom, the sorting is done using mechanical devices like color sorters and size sorters, right? But we can effectively utilize the AI and modern technology to uh, uh, further improve the grading system, right? So though we are currently using color sorters and mechanical sorting machines and conveyor belts, there are limitations to it, and there are a lot of manual effort, manual intervention required to ensure that quality product reaches to the end consumer. But so in terms of, if you can deploy AI into that world, right, there are quite a lot of possibilities which we could find out in terms of processing and even the distribution layer as well, right? The AI and the modern technology can do quite a lot of things which can improve the quality assurance to the next level. So we are actively involved in such practices as well. So uh, technology should enhance tradition, not replaces it, is what our vision, and that's where we are heading to, right?
That's
Yeah.
fabulous. I think very, very well explained as well, sir. So this brings me to the final question. So, like as a founder, as an entrepreneur, and as a leader, what is that one piece of advice that you'd like to give to the, next generation of leaders, like entrepreneurs, aspiring leaders and entrepreneurs who want to build successful businesses while having a positive impact on the society as well as the environment? What advice would you give them?
First and foremost thing is start with the purpose before profit, right? So if your business genuinely solves a problem and creates value for society, growth will follow. Be patient, stay curious, embrace innovation, and never stop learning from your failures. And most importantly, build a business that you can be proud of, right? Not just one that is financially successful. As I told in the beginning, for us, the business output, or or entire whatever we do, the output should not be measured only by profit. It should be measured by how the community, uh, how it impacts the community, how it changes the well-being of the society, right? And the takeaway, I can say, to add to it, just a takeaway. So this business don't become uh, successful merely by selling products, right? They become successful when they create trust, empower people, and leave the world a little better than they found it, right? That's the vision we pursue every day at Wayanad Craft. Not uh, just we alone growing is not a business success for me. It's the growth of the society, right? Is what we are targeting it. Yeah, that's the advice I would wish to give to aspiring entrepreneurs. Yeah.
That's superb. I think those are really some words of wisdom right there. And I think you've spoken like a true businessman who genuinely cares not only for the business but also for the environment. So, very well spoken, sir. So, this brings us to the end of the interview. But before we say our goodbyes, I just want to give you a small vote of thanks. So, Shri Kumar, thank you so much for sharing with us your inspiring journey and valuable perspectives. Your story highlights how sustainability, innovation, and a genuine commitment to empowering communities that can create a business that delivers both economic value and positive social impact can bring tremendous change and impact. Your work serves as an inspiring example for entrepreneurs who aspire to build businesses with purpose and long term vision. We wish you continued success in your journey with Wayanad Craft Spices and Handicrafts and look forward to seeing your continued contributions to sustainable business innovations. To all of our viewers, thank you so much for joining us. We'll soon be back with more inspiring conversations with visionary leaders and industry change makers right here on the Business Viewpoint magazine. Thank you so much, sir, for your time and effort for this interview with us. And I'm really looking forward to checking your website and ordering some cinnamon, I guess.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for allowing us to be part of this session, and it's really glad to talk something about on the sustainability and the community empowerment, that the initiatives we do from Wayanad craft perspective. Thank you so much. Namaskar. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Take care, sir. Bye. See you
Bye
soon.
bye.